Going back and looking back real quickly at the Carolina game, I was really pleased and happy with, the fans. When I say they make a difference, they make a difference. It was already quoted from Matt Rule about how they had a hard time communicating, and I think that the biggest thing is the challenge that I give the fans this week is I told the players from week 1 to week 2 is the biggest jump in the NFL of your performance, so we expect it to be rocking. I heard it's a whiteout, so I'll wear my white sleeves, I guess. And it should be like an avalanche once they get in that stadium. But it was a great environment, and it's going to do nothing but get better because the fans definitely held up their end of the bargain, and it helps us immensely on defense when they have to go to their silent count and everything else. And that should be the goal every time. There was a bunch of great plays in that game. But the biggest thing I was pleased with is you're seeing a carryover from our practice to our play and with our effort for 60 minutes. And I can't be more pleased than what I saw on Sunday. With that, I'll open it up to questions.
Why do you think your defense does such a good job of confusing quarterbacks? And I mean, obviously it's some unorthodox things you do, but what do you think the challenge is for the other side?
I think that the biggest challenges for our opponents is the same thing as the biggest challenge for us. You know, there's a lot of time put into studying protections and seeing how they'll react, and you know, it's by the time we get to, you know, like today we put in our pressures. It's easy for us to teach, easy for our players to learn, but yet it's something completely different. And you've heard me say this many times before. It's a positionless defense. So just because a guy, let's use Julian again, has safety next to his name in the program, he can play anywhere on the field. Why can he do that? Because the way we teach the system, he's a smart player, all right? And wherever we need him and wherever I think his skill set would fit us best is where we play him that week. And that's why you've already seen 2 different defenses, and it's a credit to the players because they're studying their tails off, and not only what we do, but what they do. And it's a long process, and we got to reap the rewards on Sunday because we gave Carolina a different look than what they've seen.
It's a copycat league, and you've had success. Why do you think there aren't more defenses like yours around the league?
Don't know that answer. Don't know that answer. There's a lot of good football coaches in this league.
Wink, you were referring to versatility there. Dane Belton played quite a bit in that game. Mm-hmm. I presume you think he has a lot of versatility. How do you think he performed with what you saw your first look at him, and what can he bring as a versatile piece, do you think?
I think that Dane's a really good football player and is going to continue to get better. For a rookie in the first play you're in the National Football League and recover a fumble, going down on a kickoff, that's pretty cool. All right, so if things go up from there, he's going to have a heck of a career, which I think it will. He does have some versatility to him. It's harder earlier with rookies because until you get them rolling, you know what I'm saying, like the first 5 weeks after they get in the rhythm of the league itself, because you can just imagine being at a young age like that and going out there and your first time of doing what you dreamed of all your life. So I always take that into account.
So how do you think he played Sunday?
I thought he played well. I thought he played really well. As a coach, you always think about, like when you just asked me that question, some of the things he didn't do well, but there wasn't that many.
For years, going against the Cowboys as a defensive guy, you had to deal with that offensive line. You know what I mean? They were a problem usually. What do you see in that group this year, and are they not quite the problem they have been in the past?
I haven't played them enough to talk about the past, except one every 4 years, being in the AFC as long as I was. But I know one thing, is they have a tremendous skill set, at the wide receiver, running back, and even quarterback position, with their second team. We're going against their second team quarterback. And their offensive line, they work well together. Okay, when they were Giants, big dudes way back like you're talking about, I know exactly what you're talking about, but they still play really well.
What do you see from Cooper Rush?
What's that?
What do you see from Cooper Rush?
I see a guy that's a starting quarterback in this league. Honestly, I do. And I made the comment just watching him and the decisions that he makes. I think that he'll have a long career as a quarterback in this league, and then he'll be one of those cats that become an offensive coordinator and a head coach by the time he's 38 or 39. That's how it usually works.
How deep can you go on him? He's got 2 career starts, so what do you try to do to find out as much as you can about him?
He's got 2 career starts, but he's also 2-0 with those career starts. So this guy's a proven winner. And we've gone back to college tape on his favorite throws. Because we obviously when the schedule came out, we did worked ahead. But then after the thumb injury, I know some of the coaches went and looked at some of his college throws, all of his preseason games since he's been there, and he's a smooth operator back there, and he doesn't get rattled. Our job is to try to rattle him.
Just looking at the other side of the ball, when you see a player like Micah Parsons, what makes him so difficult to contain?
Because of his skill set and versatility, where he moves all around.
You've talked about stud running backs the first 2 weeks. This team has kind of 2 of them. What problems does that create for?
Well, a lot of it's first of all, it's very difficult for the defense when you have 2 running backs of their caliber, especially when they're out there on the field at the same time. But either one of them could be Pro Bowl running backs. So, and they basically have very similar skill sets. And I've always said going against, I've always said going against Zeke that once he gets his shoulders squared and he starts heading downfield, he's a problem. You better be ready to come tackle him. So it's going to be another one of those games where we got to tighten up our chin straps and try to get 11 people to the football.
We'll take 3 more.
Wink, you guys obviously have Kayvon here for a reason, and he's maybe trending to play Monday. I know that'll still be determined. But when he and Aziz are in the mix for you in your toolbox, how does that change anything in terms of how you can deploy your guys?
No. I mean, they're 2 really good football players. Kayvon being picked where he is and Aziz being a second rounder. It's, the change is we got another 2 guys that are ready to go play on Monday night. And if they are. I don't know if they are or not yet.
Wink, Panthers went after Flott, early Cordell Flott.
Yeah.
What did you think of how he played? Why did you make the switch to Moreau, and how do you view that going forward here?
First of all, Cordell had his best week of practice going into Carolina, and he started off well yesterday. He had some cramping issues during the game. Once again, that's that rookie thing I was talking about with Dane Belton. They're breathing heavier and everything else because they're so excited about being out there to play. And then we put Fabe in there, and he did a great job as well. So going forward, we'll see where we're at as far as we can still rotate them or do whatever we need to do. But I was pleased with both of them actually.
How does
How would you evaluate Dexter Lawrence so far?
Is maybe one of my most favorite players I've ever been around in my life. He is a great guy, first of all, a great person. And he's a problem. I mean, he is athletic. And I'm glad you brought that up because that play, I told the whole defense on Monday, the play where he chased Baker Mayfield down and got him short of the sticks on that scramble, I don't know in my career if I've ever seen a big man like that make a play like that. And, that's the kind of effort he brings and the leadership that he brings to the defense. He and Leo and X and Julian, I mean, they've been the blocks of granite. Adore on the outside has been playing lights out, and we're just excited to go get this thing cranked up on Monday night against the Dallas Cowboys.